Middle Eastern communities. I didn't know a lot about, the South Asian communities, and there was a lot I didn't know. I had never, this may sound ignorant to you, but I grew up in Northern California. There wasn't, when I was growing up, a big Dominican population. So I didn't understand Dominican. To me, I thought, well, you all West Indies, right? We all, you might as well be, you look just like me. So, speak Spanish.
Right.
And it was like, I welcomed the education and learned about that culture and other cultures. So I think a lot of it has to do with education. And first, how we improve, and through education, put ourselves in a position of power.
Right. I just want to ask you, how did you get started, working with MTV? For all the young people out there, there's different options and different routes. And I think even some people in college now, graduating in times of recession, they don't know how to get their foot in the door and how to get started. So,
we're in a new media. Well, how I got started was what I was saying earlier, through putting out records independently, then going to radio, and then we did a lot of concert tours and put out a lot of records, compilations. Me and my partner, King Tech, right here. A lot of this stuff we were doing, I got plaques on it. It was a product of what we did with the Wake Up Show, and because of that, we created a niche for ourselves and became pillars from the West Coast to the East Coast, and then worldwide we became syndicated. And MTV at around 99 or 98 were looking for somebody who came from hip hop, but I turned it down 3 times because I was basically ignorant to, like, I didn't want to join the establishment. And then KRS One told me, if you don't join that establishment, you got no brain. By 18, if you don't join a movement or organization that's against the establishment, you have no heart. By 25, if you don't join that establishment, you have no brain. Because you can't make effective change from the outside looking in. So for me, it was important to get on the inside. And, I've been navigating through this system, and MTV has been very forthcoming with me. They let me do my thing. They allowed me, they trusted me that, okay, you said this is what's hot? Cool. Man, when I got there, you had never seen as much hip-hop played on MTV, both channels. MTV2 basically was created to... initially, its first service was young males through hip-hop. That's why a lot of the programming we did was the My Block series we had, the All Eyes on interviews, all these things we did with MTV News that really targeted that demographic. And that's how I got to MTV, through all the work I did prior. People who, we had a conversation about, it's interesting how a lot of people go through undergrad and grad school and obtain these degrees, which I would encourage anyone to do, but don't know how to make them apply to your everyday life. I think that's sad. And when I first worked for MTV, I never saw the first year check because it wasn't about money for me. It was about, let me position myself where the world will take us even that much more serious as people who come from hip-hop culture and African American community and just this country in general. So I just think it takes a lot of ingenuity, and because we're in the new media area, people like to take shortcuts. Don't be scared to work hard and long. It eventually pays off. That sounds cliche, but that hard work, it pays off.
I'm definitely seeing that now, just, coming up myself. So I think that's pretty much it as far as politics go. It wouldn't be a New York Nick interview if I didn't ask you about some hip-hop questions.
Absolutely.
So from your perspective, who you say is, well, let's just start with this year. What's the best album this year to you?
I wouldn't say the best album, but I'll tell you albums I've been enjoying. I'm going to tell you, Lil Wayne surprised me with his album. I wasn't sure what he was going to do with it, but I remember when I first got it, I just, it was on a Saturday, and I got it before it came out. That Saturday before that Tuesday that it dropped, on Monday night, and I remember going through each track and actually was very pleased with what he did, with his effort and energy that he put into writing this album. I could tell conceptually a lot of those songs he thought about. Typically when albums come out nowadays, you get 1 or 2 singles and then everything else is just scrambled. So I liked his album. I liked Nas's album just because I'm a lyrical dude, and lyrically I just felt like he always challenges me intellectually to kind of hear his metaphors. I'm a Bun B fan, you know, so I like what Bun B did. Let me think of who else. Let me go back. When did American Gangster come out? That came out the top.
That was last, I think maybe
top of last year.
Yeah.
Well, let's include that in. I like what Jay did with American Gangster just as a conceptual album, because I feel like he put more work into his pen. Obviously, I liked what T.I. did, because I felt like it was more introspective than I've heard him in a long time. And I think due to all the, paper trail, due to all the adversity he's been facing, he actually flew us to Atlanta to listen to his album at his home. And I was hearing a lot of the records, and it was some of the records that I heard early that just kind of gave me a similar feel to what I felt when I used to hear Pac. When we used to hang out, he used to play music for me. Not because I feel like T.I. sounded like Pac, but I just felt like the passion that he was putting in his messages were compelling. Like Pac used to give me this feeling like he used to sell that what he was thinking he would sell it like, damn, he's feeling that right now. And some of the songs that I heard that T.I. was doing with listening to the lyrics were that, and Kanye's album. I thought Kanye did a great job. I thought it was interesting with the competitive thing that him and 50 had.
Yeah.
I thought that was really great for hip hop. I liked it, man. I loved that those two were like putting it all on the line to say, yo, I'm about to outsell you. It was very healthy. I thought it was funny, the comments 50 would make about Kanye, and then how Kanye would respond. Honestly, all in all, I think we had a great year in hip hop, in terms of albums and some of the things that were released. A lot of younger artists like Soulja Boy. I didn't listen fully to his entire album. I ain't gonna sit there in front, but I liked, I sat and talked with him a couple of times, man. I think people short sell his intelligence as a young artist and what he represents as a new generation that's coming in, and we have to acknowledge that and respect that the same way we wanted people to respect us when I was younger, and people said that hip-hop music wouldn't last, and so I can appreciate that ingenuity that someone like Soulja Boy has. Who else? I thought Rick Ross.
Yeah,
Rick Ross, man. Rick Ross killed the game this year. I thought he did really well. I'm trying to think of what songs I liked them. I can't think of titles of songs, but I thought Rick Ross did well. I listened to a lot this year, and I felt good about what I heard. I didn't go into it thinking I would feel that great, and it just kind of really. And plus, I've been on the political trail. I purposely this year kind of did less about the music and did more about politics, because I felt like I need to utilize my visibility for other issues that are more important to me. So those were the people and projects I liked this year.
Right.
We gotta wrap it.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure.
New York Knicks. So until your viewers, tell them to go to chooseorlose.com. We need everybody to go to chooseorlose.com to sign this brave petition. If you know somebody that's fighting in any of these wars, or who's been affected by it, or you just want to do something to help those who have, go to chooseorlose.com and sign the brave petition, and we're going to make sure we get it to the powers to be.
Yeah, y'all know what it is. Chooseorlose.com. Definitely hit that up. New York Knicks, best of both offices. Also, shout out to Hip Hop Chronicles in UK. And Sway, it's been a pleasure, man.
Okay, Friday night, 8 p.m.
Yeah, we there.
Okay, y'all make sure y'all watch MTV, A Night for Vets. It's an MTV concert for the brave.
All right, we out.